Good morning. Okay, so we are approaching that season again for annual reviews, and the biggest tip I can give you right out of the gate is it shouldn't be that moment in time when you sit down at your desk and say, what did I do this year? The best way to approach an annual review is to, in some fashion, keep track of the things you're doing from a quantity, quality, time management perspective throughout the year. I know many of your groups and individuals have different ways of doing that. Again, it makes it far easier if you do it that way. First off, we also have a new form this year, which will be released within the next couple days. I know that was one of the things that provided a lot of angst to people, was that it was difficult to use. So now it will be an editable PDF form. It will be more friendly with the copy and paste functionality. There will be spell check, and it'll just be a better experience than using the form itself. So that will be available in the next few days. I won't dwell on that here because I wanted to get into some of the other components of the review. Okay, so the ratings, categories, and definitions. So 2 years ago, we had a 5-point scale. Last year, we went to a 3-point scale. The 3-point scale is 3 outstanding, 2 successful, 1 needs development. Let me talk about 2 first. 2 successful. Successful is good. It's a good thing. More than 90% of our people last year fell into the rating of successful. Successful is a good thing. That makes ASR successful. It makes us a successful organization. So look at the definition there. The individual consistently meets expectations of the job duties and responsibilities. Commitment to ASR values is evident. Individual is an important part of the overall success of ASR. But let's look at the footnote for that. Just scroll down a bit. So successful, just because it happens to fall between 1 and 3, is not a C grade for all of you folks who are more accustomed to putting it on that type of scale. It doesn't mean average. It means you are a successful performer in a successful organization. So that was one of the comments we have had in the past that, it grates at me that I get a C grade. Well, you can't look at it that way because it's not a C grade. It's a successful category. So then what does it mean so how do you achieve, and what does it mean to be outstanding? Outstanding, the bar is raised here. And we want to recognize truly outstanding accomplishments and contributions to the organization. So you can see the red highlights there again. Continually exceeds expectations, or extraordinary contributions. So those are things that are tougher to do, and they're intentionally made tougher. If we want to, we want to be able to document those individuals that meet that standard. So let's look at the footnote for that as well. So what's an extraordinary contribution? First of all, it must be documented. It can't be, I think I was outstanding this year. There has to be actual documentation that supports it. It must generally indicate a number of examples of outstanding work. And there must be some kind of value proposition to it. Did these outstanding contributions, did they save the organization or the institution money? Did you streamline a process, either by yourself or as part of a group? Did you get some form of significant recognition from peers or other bodies? Did you show some extraordinary leadership? Did you provide some significant assistance to others? Did you take on extra work over and above your job duties? Well, those are examples of outstanding work. And again, they need to be documented. And as directors, we review all of these. And we can review whether that meets that standard of outstanding. So again, successful is a good thing. We have some people that really exceed and do some outstanding work, and we want to recognize them for that in this category. Another comment there is outstanding doesn't mean I get outstanding this year, next year automatically. Outstanding is based on the body of work, the work that you've done this year. So again, it doesn't mean that's a rolling outstanding. Again, this is outstanding, has to be exemplified every year. I will take questions as we go through as well. If you want to do that, I'll just keep an eye on the crowd here. Otherwise, I'll keep on rolling. Needs development, I will talk a lot. There's not a whole lot of individuals in the ASR that have that. In itself, it's not a bad thing, it's just a recognition that we need to help that individual some more. Okay, so that's the kind of the general scoring rating mechanism. So then we have that section, of quantity, quality, and time management. So in this year's form, we're going to have a very specific section for the employee to add their comments. You can see there's a box there, and then beneath that, there will be the opportunity for the supervisor to do that. So you can see the little description there. The employee adds comments as needed. Supervisor select a rating and add comments as needed to support the rating. So there's a top section, and then there's a bottom section for the supervisor. Just the one thing about the new form I want to mention here, the boxes will now be a standard size, and if you do happen to fill out the box, the font will get smaller in the box. If you have lots to write and the font gets down to like a 2-point scale, you probably want to either abbreviate it, or we will allow the last page of the review to be kind of an overflow for any other section of the review. So if you find yourself needing more space, there will be a space at the end, and you just reference the fact that you are moving some of the comments to the back. So the expectations of these sections, so let's review that. From a quantity point of view, the standard definition is complete assigned work, accomplishes expected tasks, and seeks out work as needed. So again, it's a good thing to have examples of what those quantity items are. Some of these might be more IT related. I mean, I did this presentation for IT, but I think you'll get the theme, is what projects might you have been involved in? Did you get involved with ServiceNow tickets or other types of tickets, other things, tasks that you have to do? PFM is the OIT thing that IT does. Where have you helped others? What committees have you been on? What training have you taken? What conferences have you attended? What other initiatives have you been involved with? And this is in addition to some of the things you've accomplished in your day-to-day jobs. And document any over and above job duties that you have done. In the quality section, so work is accurate and reflects ASR standards, meets or exceeds customer service expectations, works collaboratively, effectively solves problems. So again, some of the examples you might have there are where you've got kudos or references or compliments from peers, customers, or others. That's always a good thing to have to read that other people appreciate your work. And I know I see lots of those on a day-to-day basis from lots of people, and keep an eye on those. When you get those kudos, bring them forward to your review. But any other awards or presentations you've done, error-free work, processes that you followed, problem solved, customer service examples, so those are things that you might add to the quality section. Time management. Meets deadlines, prioritizes work appropriately, adjusts timelines thoughtfully, communicates about work, project work status, punctual and reliable attendance. So again, there you might have document the assignments you delivered on time, the extra work done because time was saved. Tell us how do you plan? How do you do your time management? So how do you plan ahead to get all your work done? Because I know for the business analysts that I manage, there's often four things are going to happen in April, and they have to figure out how to get all the things done. So some of them might have to be done early. So mention some of the methodologies you use. Do you use a product? Do you use a trick? Do you use some other method for doing your time management? When you do that, it also helps us to realize that maybe there's another method out there that's going to work for others, and we can bring that forward. So that's from an individual point of view. From a supervisory point of view, so in that second box, supervisor entry section, supervisors may concur or agree with what the employee has written in the prior box, and that's okay. Sometimes the employees have done such a good job of documenting the things that they do that it's okay for the supervisor to say, I concur or agree with those items. Often, however, the supervisor would also enhance the employee entries or add some to it. They would add new entries, or they'd make other general comments about the employee's quality quarantine time management. And another important thing here is, and I use this a lot as well, is to have other people help you put comments in there. So we use a lot of leads in IG, and we often put the lead comments in the supervisory section as well to kind of augment the good work individuals have done. In the competency section, we have the 7 competencies of job knowledge, communication, customer service, teamwork, problem solving, analysis, leadership development. So that's the individual scores section. We will have the expanded version again this year, so there will be a number of sub-competencies under the higher competency. So it's the same rating scale that we use, as I talked about a few moments ago. And this is the area that it also permits itemization of some outstanding competencies, even though the overall rating might be successful. With all those items there may be some of those items that are truly outstanding, but it doesn't raise the standard of being overall successful on the review. It also allows for a 1 there sometimes, where there's an area that someone might have to work on. So those are a couple of tips there. But also, supervisors do this differently. This may or may not have the employee take the first pass at the numbers, with the supervisor having the final say. Personally, I like having the individual employee fill out that section first, and then as a supervisor, that I would go through and to see if I'm on the same page with them, to see if I agree with their rating that I would put. However, the supervisor does get the last say. And of course, if there is a wide discretion or wide variety in the numbers that the employee does and that you as a supervisor think, again, that's an opportunity for discussion on your one-on-one. So then the accomplishments and overall evaluation. So this section is the summary of overall work. And again, this is a good place to articulate, if you are thinking that you have an outstanding contribution this year, is to articulate in that section why you think that is. But also this section is the progress of your goals. Goals are set for the year, and so this is a section where you should comment on how you feel you did on the goals from the prior year, the year up till that point in time. I've noticed a lot of times that isn't done, but again, this is where we would expect that you as an employee would comment on the goals that you have. And then, of course, I, the supervisor, will again concur that you've either met or exceeded or have not yet met those goals. And that's the section that you do that. And then the last section, and this is where we expect now the new goals for the coming year. So again, the last section we looked at the goals that we've just come through, and now this is the new goals. So what might be in the new goals? First of all, it might be continuing goals from the prior year. Often a goal is an ongoing thing that you don't accomplish in 1 year. It takes longer than a year, or maybe you had other things you had to get done that year, so you didn't quite achieve that goal. That's okay. So it might roll forward. So you might take the goal from the prior year and move it into the new year. Again, the supervisor may concur with these goals. And often they will add their own goals for that individual. So that section may also have a combination of the goals that the supervisor or the employee has set for themselves, and then the supervisory goals. Also, the supervisor might not necessarily agree with the goals of the individual because they might not be exactly in line with their job duties or other things that they need to do that year. If that's the case, that's a place for discussion. And that also might be the place for the IEP where the individual might put some of those individual goals on their own individual development plan. And then, as I indicated earlier, there is now going to be a final page where it's called additional comments, and you can enter just any general comments you want in that section, or again, it can be used for that overflow. I know the quantity section is often a more lengthy, especially if you're itemizing some of the individual tickets and things you've worked on. So this might be an opportunity then to go to this final page and just make reference that you're actually, this is a continuation for prior section. So that is, I have one more comment here. So why do we do this to begin with? Why do we do annual reviews? I had this question in my IT section. Well, first of all, it's university policy. We are required to do these, but it's not that. It really is other things. This is the opportunity for the employee and supervisor to formally review good work. Everyone's busy, everyone has different mechanisms for doing one-on-ones and other meetings, but this is our formal opportunity to sit down and review a document that itemizes both things. It's an opportunity for the employee and supervisor to be on the same page for the employee's performance, progress, and goals. Again, if there's need for assistance or help or anything that an employee and the supervisor might not be on the same page on, this is an opportunity to do that. It's an opportunity to review goals for the previous year. If you're setting goals, you want to take credit for actually meeting those goals and then exceeding those goals. And this is an opportunity for the supervisor to give you those kudos. Does your goal setting for the new year? It's an opportunity to outline and recognize outstanding work. And it's an opportunity to define steps when performance is not as expected. So, there is solid logic for doing these, and much of it is for giving you guys the appreciation for the good work that you have done. All the reviews go to the directors. We review a high proportion of them, and it is good for me to see the accomplishments of others across the university or across ASR that I don't necessarily see on a day-to-day basis. That's a good thing. Eric?
Do you have dates set for when these are due?
The dates have been published in the news and notes. I think we didn't have the exact precise date in some cases, but we had at least the time of that particular month. But those will be solidified soon. Okay, as a person that's writing your own review, do start now. The form will be available. You don't have to do it with the form because you can do it independently on another document. But again, it's April through May effectively is the time frame.
So this on the PowerPoint is the actual form that you're going over here. Will this information be available to us as we go into review and everything?
Some of it is, so those pages or the clips I showed are from the actual form, but we'll make this document available to you.
Okay.
Yeah, this document wasn't intended to be kind of the end all for writing a review, but again, we have noticed that people do struggle with this, and this was hopefully a little bit of help.